Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Seymour, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Pennycup. Here. Mr. Cleary.
Here.
Dr. Johnson. Here. Mrs. Miranda.
Here.
Mrs. Burns.
Here. Thank you. 2.01 District Honors, Recognitions, Gifts, and Introductions.
Madam President, first one will be the Superintendent's Art Gallery winners from Winton Woods Elementary School and Winton Woods Primary School with art teachers Miss Mary Grace Spalding and Miss Nancy Blish. The art galleries took place earlier this month. While there were many outstanding artists represented, 9 winners were chosen. We like to honor them tonight. Each winner will receive a gold medal, and receive for their achievement. The first 2 winners of the Superintendent's Art Choice Award recipients are Renaya Sims and Aiden Wallace. So could you please come up? Renaya. Thank you. Where's Aiden? Next, we have the Principal's Choice Art Award recipients, Jason Ware and Donovan Simulak.
Mr. Smith, we have one more, just a moment. Are you Renaya? Here you are. Her art is right here.
I'm pleased to say that I selected this piece, and when I went to ES, yes, all right, there were 1,200 art pieces on display. 1,200 art pieces. I was a little dizzy by the time I walked out, but this was the one that was captured my eye. I went back and forth 4 times, and this one kept calling my name. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
This one is Jason's.
Congratulations, Jason and Donovan. The Superintendent's and Principal's Choice artworks will be framed and matted thanks to a grant from Union Central Life Insurance Company in Forest Park. These artworks will be hung in the elementary school and primary north schools until the students graduate, at which time the artwork will go to the students. Thank you very much. I'm proud. We also have honorable mention. Latico Jordan, Jarrett McKenzie, Kamira Sims, and Julian Vakulbil. Are there any of those young people here tonight? Tell me who you are. Latika.
I'm extremely impressed because I can't draw stick people, so this is really good. Julian's here. Julian? Yeah.
Our next award is the Kiwanis Characters Key Award, sponsored by the Forest Park Green Hills Kiwanis Club. This month's Characters Key Award recipient is for integrity, and that student is Ardell Scales. Mom, I know it may be a little too forward, but I'd like to borrow that suit sometime. Looks really good. All right, I'm going to read a little bit about Ardell. You have to stand right here and stand proud when I read about you, okay? All right. Turn around to the audience. All right. Integrity means someone who's trustworthy, honest, has good morals, and is honorable. Ardell Scales is the student that comes to mind. Ardell is a first grader at Primary South. Last year, Ardell went through a difficult time in life. Some people who go through challenging times can be very bitter. They may even use their circumstances to avoid responsibilities or to obtain special treatment. But Ardell has taken the challenges in his life with such grace and dignity, far better than most adults. Not once have I heard him complain about his personal challenges. Ardell always asks me how my day is going. He says things to me that are from his heart. He has talked with me about making good choices at school. He strives daily not only to have his color on green for good behavior, but his goal each day is to strive for purple, the highest color for superb behavior. Ardell told me recently that he was going to have a good future. I agreed and thought he certainly would be, but was curious why he made the commitment. He told me it was because he was a good person. Yes, indeed, a good person with good future in store for him. Congratulations, Ardell.
In addition to Ardell's award, he received a $35 gift certificate to Barnes & Noble.
Next, we have the Kiwanis Gold Star Student of the Month Award for the months of March and April. This award goes to outstanding students from Winton Woods High School who have demonstrated outstanding character as well as community service. Our March recipient, Ayana Phelps. I've been here since July, and I'm telling you, I've seen her in like 85 different events. So I'm going to read this nice recommendation for Ayana. She wasn't here last month, but we waited for you. Okay, all right. Outgoing, motivated, hardworking, intelligent, humble, and personable are just a few words that describe Ayana Phelps. Her dedicated and kind personality have contributed to her relationship with students and staff in our building. Ayanna possesses many qualities that will ensure her success in any school and community. The most notable ones are her character, dedication, and work ethic. Now, this is the one that's really interesting. Ayanna is a great student. Her GPA is 4.24. She's ranked 5 out of 285 in her senior class, which places her in the top 10% of her class. She has completed the most rigorous course loads by taking the highest level of courses such as honors and AP courses, and she continued to do so her senior year. She became a member of the National Honor Society during her junior year, continues to do so her senior year, and contributes her time with the community service activities that are required. She is responsible, knows how to work with others, and works very hard to lead by example. Ayanna's personality has allowed her to be well respected by our faculty. I've been able to work with Ayanna for 4 years. 1 year, freshman year, as her Spanish teacher. She was always attentive in class and always participated and helped other students that were struggling with the material. She always volunteered or helped with many classroom projects. That year, her Spanish class won the Black History Month door decorating contest. Her contribution played a huge role. She stayed after school and made sure the door met all of the requirements. As her counselor, I've continued to see her determination to succeed. She's at school every day and pushes herself to understand class material and produce high-quality work. This shows that she is proactive in her schoolwork, and it shows because she continues to hold an A average in all of her courses. All courses. All right, I'm going to brag on her just a little bit more. All right. Ayanna does not shy away from a challenge, but rather wants to challenge herself by taking the most rigorous courses this academic school year. Ayanna is reliable, organized, and has a positive attitude. She has been involved in a variety of activities her entire high school career. She is a good leader. She has good leadership and interpersonal skills. Some of the extracurricular activities that she's involved in with her band, student council, Key Club, WWHS cheerleading, UCA All-American cheerleading, Gospel Keys, participates in the softball team, and is a senior ambassador with an A average. Yes. Whoa. She has taken leadership roles in band as the band president, section leader, and squad leader. She is a senior representative for student council, the Key Club representative, and the Gospel Keys president, and the National Honor Society corresponding secretary. She is also a member of our top honors choir varsity ensemble. Ayanna's work and participation in our activities does not go unnoticed. She has received the Ultimate Warrior Award, as well as maintained her grades to be in the honor roll for all of her 3 years of high school so far. She strives on taking any challenge that comes her way. Ayanna is academically prepared, is hardworking, responsible, and works well with others. I am convinced that she will continue to achieve her academic performance, as well as her involvement that she has demonstrated as a high school student. Job well done. Yes. That's absolutely amazing. How many activities? I counted 50. All right. Next, Gold Star Student of the Month recipient, Armel Kudatsi.
Yes.
Her counselor, Ms. Gibfrey, writes, hardworking, bright, determined, self-motivated, and mature, just a few words to describe Armel. She is a well-rounded student and has pushed herself academically in her 4 years of high school. High school. I've had the privilege to work with Armel as her counselor for 3 years. Right away, I noticed that she possesses positive qualities which will ensure her success in college. Armel is a senior at Winton Woods High School but has attended our vocational sister school, Scarlet Oaks, for the last 2 years. She is studying lodging management and hospitality services. She is ranked 43 out of 280 in her class and currently holds a 3.27 GPA. Wow. I would define Armel as being a quiet leader because she does not boast about her success, nor does she slack off. Armel's greatest strengths are her knowledge of lodging and hospitality, thanks to her training at Scarlet Oaks. She has earned some awards and recognition for her hard work. She's been on the honor roll at Winton Woods High School for the last 3 years and was on the Dean's List at Scarlet last year. She also received the Citizenship Award for participating in our Winton Woods High School concert choir. She has also earned some achievements for her participation in the lodging and hospitality program at Scarlet Oaks. She is now recognized as a certified guest service professional and has earned a 1-year certificate in hospitality and tourism management. Although she has a quiet demeanor about herself, she has taken on leadership positions in her program at Scarlet Oaks. She was the Ohio team captain for a year for the International Lodging Management Competition. She has been a Scarlet Oaks ambassador, a Great Oaks advocate, a DECA member, and has participated in the Girl Scouts for America. Not only is she involved with school, but she has also completed a 75-hour unpaid internship with Cincinnati Marriott in Westchester, Ohio. With her school involvement and leadership abilities, it is evident that Armel is able to maintain balance in her life. She strives to maintain high marks in school and continue to be involved. I'm convinced that she has what it takes to succeed. She truly is a gem. Her hard work and dedication will leave a lasting impression for her teachers as well as myself. She has a passion for academic and personal success, and she will make sure that this success is an integral part of her college career. I'm very pleased to see her enhance her academic achievement in college. She will be a positive addition to any campus and community. Evelyn Gipfried, counselor. Congrats. You know, I think I have the best job in the world, where I can read all of these great attributes about young people and their accomplishments. So thank you very much for the hard work and the commitment. And they're not just students, they're students that are involved in activities. That makes it very, very powerful. All right, next we have a very special recognition for Mr. and Mrs. Greg Schramm. Are they here? Yes.
Come on down.
All right. If you were there, I was there. I didn't do any work, but I was there, okay? And they were able to restore our field, have people restore our field and put in the drainage system and everything that we needed in order to make our baseball field a quality field. I don't know if it helped us win any games, but the field is absolutely beautiful, and thank you guys for your work. So I'm going to read a little bit about you. Mr. and Mrs. Schramm spearheaded the effort to renovate the Winton Woods High School baseball field this month. The Board of Education deeply appreciates all your work to make this renovation possible. We would like to honor you with this plaque as a token of our gratitude.
And the plaque reads, in appreciation, the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education presents this certificate to Mr. and Mrs. Greg Schramm for supporting our students by facilitating the renovation of the Winton Woods High School baseball field. Your generosity of time and effort to make this project possible is deeply appreciated. Quote, the value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. Albert Einstein. Thank you.
The
winds are coming.
The winds are
Yes,
coming.
yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, I had the opportunity to be there at one of the games where the Schramms were throwing out the first pitch. And I do have to say, Mrs. Schramm has a really good arm, and her husband can catch just about anything. So it was an enjoyable event. It was a great way to honor you and say just how much we really appreciate what you've done for the students here at Winton Woods and our community. Thank you.
Well, we're excited about it. We're very excited. The program is just going to continue to get stronger and stronger. I'm sure we've got some great athletes out there on the team. And Greg and I have been very fortunate to be several of the kids that are on JV. We started out coaching in T-ball many years ago, and up until a few years ago when our son went on to play select ball, that's when we stopped coaching at not Holland Green Hills. But it's great to see these kids out there playing high school ball that we've known since they're 5, 6 years old. So we're excited about it. We're gonna have a great team. Just wait to see what happens next year.
I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, it's interesting, Mr. Cleary, where you mentioned she threw out the first pitch and she has an incredible arm. I could have used her at the Good Catch event. Mr. Bell tried to make me go under on TV, but I managed to survive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
And that concludes our district honors, recognition, gifts, and introductions.
Thank you. At this time, we will take a 5-minute recess. For those of you who'd like to take your students home, you may do so at this time.
Okay, that's enough.
Our meeting will reconvene. Public comments. We have one from Katrina Ruglis.
Good evening,
Good evening.
President Burns, board members, and Mr. Smith. Thank you for allowing me to address the board tonight. Good Catch began, I want to talk a little bit about Good Catch, and it began as a result of a small group of residents, staff members, businesses, coming together on the belief that we can unite 3 communities that make up the Winton Woods City School District on our shared value for education. The level of commitment that this effort has goes beyond just the hope that we will achieve an excellent school district, but it's embedded in a level of faith that we can do it and we will do it. That's why I want to come tonight to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of the entire Good Catch team. This is the first year that we've had clear representation from the board stepping up to help out. I hate doing this public speaking, so I'm just going to try and get through it. This year was marked with an unprecedented amount of support from the district leadership, staff, Good Catch team was very, very appreciative of everything that you all have done. This level of inclusion and collaboration is something that I feel that we need to be able to move the district forward. Despite many challenges and distractions that could have derailed this effort, we were very supportive. We were very successful. Here's some of the challenges that we faced. Ticket sales were not as strong as they were in the past due to many different constraints. In fact, they were 45%, down 45%. Some of the contributing factors was an oversight on the Reds' part to secure the choir for singing the anthem, lower school participation in ticket sales, and also the weather. Typically, near the end of the event, that's where we get our biggest boosts. But many people wait to see what the weather's going to be, and for those of you who participated, you know that the weather was not that great. But here's some highlights that we did have a chance to do. We introduced the community wiffle ball game and the summer enrichment fair. That was very successful. We built partnership with 15 vendors in attendance, and actually the food trucks sold out of food. We had representatives from Springfield Township, Forest Park Fire Department, Wentwood staff, residents of the 3 communities, and city employees. Leaderships from all 3 of the communities participated, and we also had captains, Superintendent Anthony Smith, and the mayor of Forest Park. This connection was very, very important because what it did was it showed everybody that we do play a part and we can participate in helping our school district move forward. The Community Day at the Reds was also supported by all three communities again. That's important to have everybody on board working together. There was a higher level of local leadership, participation in the game, in meetings, in collaborations that we're going to move forward with in the future. We had local news coverage this year around, channel 12 and 9, and we added 2 new honorary chairs, Vinnie Ray and Jeff Brantley. Also, the VIP event was full, but the weather hampered that a little bit. One of the benefits that we did do is we looked at some of our local and regional partners. We were able to utilize a local business that produced our PSA this year. Eastleigh Bless, any of you familiar with Eastleigh Bless? They did our PSA, and they also have a full-scale print service. So that's something that the district can think about as well. The loss of the choir created an opportunity to highlight the band and other local supporters on the field, which was huge. And also this year, in the past, Good Catch has provided 100% of the tickets, but we were able, despite the decrease in ticket sales, we were able to provide still 70 of the 125 needed. We increased community program partners and supporters by 34% to offset the impact of low ticket sales, but the net result was that Good Catch raised more money this year than last year. This is huge because, you know, sometimes we look at some of our circumstances and we say, you know, we can't get this done. But I walk by faith and not by sight. And sometimes, you know, the system, I mean, the idea about how do we make our school system better seems like it's a daunting task. But I have hope, I have faith, and I think Good Catch is a shining example of how good things happen when our community comes together. So, thank you each and everyone for supporting our efforts this year. The board will meet and we'll make our allocations in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ruggles. I think that, let me just speak for Kim and give Kim's commentary, but we appreciate your efforts and the efforts of those in the community that work toward collaboration and inclusion for the betterment of our students.
I just wanted to say, too, that I had mentioned actually participating in the wood football game and how much fun it was. It really was. I mean, I was just kind of a sideline cheerleader. I'm the hype person. But anyway, I had a good time. And I think that all of the communities participating really made, it just gives that sense of, you know, we value our community and we do value our students. So I just wanted to say that. And it was a bad night for rain, but people hung in there. We stayed for a long time, didn't we, Jessie? Jessie and I stayed. So.
And I might also add that it was a fantastic save on television that Superintendent displayed in catching the first pitch.
Keep your day job. Yes, keep your day job.
Okay. Seeing no other public comments, we'll move to 5.01, the approval of minutes.
We have for you tonight for your approval the special meeting of 3/24, the regular meeting of 3/24, the special meeting of 4/2, and your work session from 4/16.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Pennicuff?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 6.01, financial statements.
We're basically the 9 months through the year, and we are still on target with our spending pattern, and hope to continue to target the savings for the year to carry us over to next year so that Mr. Smith will have some extra funds to do some things in a different direction. We're still on target with that. I don't know if you have any questions, but all real estate taxes are pretty much collected because the February settlement is received. I don't know if you have any questions or anything. On the investments, we made a whopping $1,481. We are looking into better ways. I had two CDs mature. You just shrink when you call and get rates on these public fund CDs. So I'm sure you've heard of Ohio Star Plus, and we're looking into that in the event that we have more funds come our way in the future. We need to be more productive with our interest. So, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Need a motion on the,
I think we do.
Report.
Madam President, I move to, on the financial statements, I move to acknowledge and accept the financial statements and to approve the investments as presented by the treasurer.
is there a second?
Second.
Hearing no questions?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye.
Thank you.
Kind of just as a prompt on that, do we usually we usually refer that to audit?
Yeah, I
The-
submitted for
Yeah.
audit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And then I'll put the motion for the investments.
Investments.
Yes. 7.02 is, as you know, you're now accepting the, from the county auditor, we're accepting our amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission. Basically, what this means that, you know, in January, we submitted our budget. Then, based on our total valuation, the auditor's office either escalates or devalues our effective rates. So our rates are constant, so your effective rate for taxation did not adjust significantly except on some commercial. So we're now approving the rates as set by the county auditor. I don't know if anyone has any questions, but we're accepting what they call the amounts and rates, your total tax value and the assessment of taxes.
Board, is there a motion?
Board, I move to approve the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission, authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hearing no questions, Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye.
The next item is the approval of student fees. All fees were held consistent to last year. There are no increases. We did remove the student ID fee, and we did add some AP testing fees. Dr. Holden's here. She was very helpful in the last minute of pulling this together. So we did add some AP fees, and the one item is we will now be charging pay to participate for vocal and band, just as we do our athletic program. And I don't know if you have any questions, but for the most part, this is your high school fee structure and your pay to participate.
Board, is there a motion?
I motion to.
Can I just say, just as a point of clarification to explain why the vocal fee was added, it's more for what, the transportation, so that people
Oh,
will
sure.
understand that?
Just as the board pays for, as you know, all the coaches and the benefits that goes along with that, they also pay for all your choir directors, your band directors. And the extra part of out of the classroom is a lot of travel for competitive events of the nature. And we had been charging band pay to play, and we decided to be consistent and also begin to charge vocal for pay to participate for their extras outside of the classroom. And it goes to defray the cost of transportation for their extracurricular activities.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'll motion to approve the fee list for school year 14-15 as presented.
Second.
One additional question, Mr. Seymour. If you indicated that we have an additional AP test fee, and maybe this is a question for Dr. Holden.
Yeah, I'll defer that.
Can you tell me which course that was added?
It was the
It's our
AGS.
fourth year, AGS course, social studies course, AP Human Geography.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. Reports of the superintendent.
Madam President, the principals have been very diligent with their staff, providing the upcoming school events for all schools, in addition to the Race to the Top transformation team minutes from 4/7/14, for the 4/7/14, excuse me. Please pay close attention in your packet of the upcoming Teacher Appreciation Week, which is May 5th through the 9th. I don't want us to overlook that. Our teachers are very, very dedicated, very committed, and I think they do an excellent job. So let's make sure that we remember that.
Thank you. This is just for information, so we don't need to move to approve these. Superintendent's recommendations.
The recommendation is to approve the personnel schedules 9.01, Schedule A, retirements and resignations, Schedule C, support staff employment, Schedule D, extra duty and supplemental employment, Schedule E, leaves.
Madam President, I move to approve the 4 personnel schedules just enumerated by the superintendent.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Smith, have we removed Schedule B?
Schedule B is not listed.
It was not listed, but I have an attachment, so I did not know if we were going to include that or do that separately.
Schedule B, certificate employment, my mistake.
That should
Thank
be
you.
included?
Yes, it should be. Yes, thank you.
What he said.
So you want to amend that to 5,
Thank you,
attachment?
Madam
Okay.
President.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.02, summer school offerings.
Yes, before I ask the board to recommend and to approve the summer school offerings, there are some changes that we've made to really make this worthwhile for our children. And basically, it reads, we're requiring that students attend each day, and we're making that real valiant effort to the parents that says, if your child is having academic difficulties, every day in attendance is required. We're trying to do our best to make sure that it's not optional. There are some consequences for having optional attendance. And then the other part is when the goal of the program is to continue making gains in achievement for ESL students by providing sufficient time and practice in acquiring vocabulary, reading comprehension, and social adjustment strategies. And students will work to strengthen skills in identified areas. And then the last piece that was modified, Madam President and Board, we're changing our work habits from remediation to acceleration. We found out that when you remediate students, you get them to a certain level, which is probably mediocrity, and then you don't go from there. So our language will be changed in all of our documents that will not read remediation, it will read acceleration. And in the past, students in the middle school could take 2 classes, but as we work diligently to become a standards-based system, the standards dictate how the students go. So they could take more than 2 classes. In the past, if you needed 3 and you could only take 2, then you were going to remain in your same grade. Since it's an online opportunity, students will have an opportunity to grow and advance as quickly as they possibly can. I think that's our responsibility as educators to help our students go beyond where we think they can go. So it is the superintendent's recommendation to have you or ask you to approve the summer school offerings for grades K to 8 as presented.
Madam President, I move to approve the summer school offerings for grade K-8 as presented.
Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Smith, one additional question. There is a section here for non-grad credit recovery.
Yes.
Can you say something about that to give a little more explanation on that?
Program, well, this is how it reads, and then I'll give you just some overview. The program for non-grad Winton Woods High School students who did not successfully complete the high school course curriculum or earn sufficient number of credits, virtual school offers students the opportunity to complete remedial work during the summer. Again, it won't say remedial work, it will say work that's accelerated, and these are online courses at home.
Thank you.
Our mission is to give our children every opportunity to be successful, and we don't want them to be disenfranchised along the way. So as we begin to encourage students to do better, we have to have things available for them to get to that point.
Thank you.
Mr.
Any-
Smith.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, I just wanted to say thank you one more time. It seems as if there's one or two points at each board meeting that we continue to drive home what real educational reform looks like. This is an example of real educational reform within Winton School.
Yes, sir.
Winton School District. So thank you for enlarging that.
No further questions, Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.03, school lunch price increase.
Yes, Madam President, before you approve the school lunch price increase for 14-15, I think it's going to be fitting that people understand what those prices look like. Mr. Denny has put a lot of time and energy into inputting the numbers, making sure things are accurate. So here's his summary. After inputting our numbers into the 2014-15 paid lunch equity calculator tool, Winton Woods City School District is currently at a weighted average lunch price of $2.44. For the 2014-15 school year, we're required to be at a weighted average lunch price of $2.50. So here are the price increases. The current price for elementary lunch is $2.20. The proposed price is $2.25. The middle school, high school price is $2.70. The proposed price is a 10-cent increase to $2.80. And the high school deli price is $2.95, which is a proposed increase of 5 cents to $3. This would result in a weighted average lunch price of $2.52 for our school system. We respectfully request the board's approval for these lunch prices for 14-15 at this time. Thank you for your consideration.
Mr. Smith, I don't know if this question is for you or Mr. Denny, but could you say more about the term required?
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
In 2010, there was a piece of the Nutrition Act that was passed that required any school in the United States that participated in the federal school lunch program to maintain a certain threshold of lunch prices that was sort of approaching commensurate with the reimbursement rate. Because the federal government reimburses lunches at a certain rate that they determine. If they determine your school lunch price is too low, then they view that as you sort of increasing too much profit margin. So they require you to raise your local rate to be roughly even or approaching even over time. And so they have this lunch calculator function that you can take your numbers and your numbers of students and so forth and your lunch prices, you plug it all in, and it generates what your average price needs to, well, would be with those numbers. Hopefully that
I did it.
does the question justice. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
And then you round it off to the nearest nickel or something like that, so that we don't get into pennies.
Yeah, that's pretty problematic for the families, for the kids, and for the people making change. So, yeah,
Well, it would slow down the lunch line tremendously.
it can do that. Yeah.
Thank you. So
Thank
our,
you. Go ahead.
our lunch program is still self-sustaining. That is, we use no local tax money
Correct.
to subsidize the lunch program.
That's correct. It operates in the black each year.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's managed well. Yeah, thanks.
Board, do I hear a motion?
Madam President, I'll move to approve the lunch price increase proposal for 2014-15.
Is there a second?
Second.
No further questions. Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennica?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. Resolutions.
Ready? To approve the resolution, National Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5th to the 9th. This resolution will be read by Board Member Dr. Johnson.
This is the resolution for the National Teachers Appreciation Week, May 5th through the 9th, 2014. Whereas the week of May 5th through the 9th, 2014 is a National Teacher Appreciation Week, and whereas public schools have been a gateway to success for every generation of Americans, and whereas a strong, effective system of public school education for all children and youth is essential to our democratic system of government, and whereas public schools are at work shaping the future for a whole new generation of young Americans who will take places in education, business, industry, and government, and whereas no other profession has so great an opportunity to make a lasting and life-changing impact on the lives of so many, and whereas teachers empower, inform, teach, enlighten, share, enrich, create, motivate, mentor, and touch the minds of those students they are entrusted with, and whereas it is appropriate for the Winton Woods City School District to pay tribute to the teaching profession as a whole and to recognize teachers for their dedication and for their commitment to challenge and educate the youth of our schools and community. Therefore, be it resolved that the Winton Woods City School Board of Education formally designates the week of May the 5th through the 9th, 2014 as National Teacher Appreciation Week, adopted this day, the 28th day of April, 2014.
Dr. Johnson, because I love hearing it, can you read the 5th whereas again?
I like that one too. Whereas no other profession has so great an opportunity to make the lasting and life-changing impact on the lives of so many.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Board, do I hear a motion?
Madam President, I move the adoption of the resolution that Dr. Johnson just read.
And I'll second. Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennica?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.05.
To approve the resolution National School Nurse Day, May 7th, 2014, and this resolution will be read by Board Member Mrs. Jessica Miranda.
Resolution for National School Nurse Day, May 7, 2014. Whereas it is proper to acknowledge school nurses for their professional contribution to encourage and support a healthy environment and education for our nation's youth and for the students and staff of the Winton Woods City School District. And whereas school nurses provide a vital role to the institution of public education through their unique expertise for managing primary and preventative health care. And whereas school nurses are diligent, motivated, caring professionals who influence and promote a healthy school environment that is safe and conducive to learning. Be it therefore resolved this 28th day of April 2014 that the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education hereby recognizes the continued effort, commitment, and resolve of school nurses to make a difference and proclaims May 7, 2014 as National School Nurse Day in the Winton Woods City School District, adopted this 28th day of April 2014.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Hearing no questions, Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennica?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.06.
Madam President, to approve the resolution School Nutrition Employee Week, May 5th to the 9th, 2014, and this resolution will be read by Vice President Mr. Tim Cleary.
School Nutrition Employee Week. Whereas nutritious meals at school are an essential part of the school day, and whereas the staff of the district's school meals and nutrition department are committed to providing healthful, nutritious meals to the district's children, and whereas the men and women who prepare and serve school meals help nurture our children through their daily interaction and support, and whereas the week of May 5th through the 9th, 2014 is School Nutrition Employee Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Winton Woods City School District expresses its deep appreciation to these valuable employees and commends their good work on behalf of our children. Adopted the 28th day of April 2014.
Thank you. Board, may I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve the School Nutrition Employee Week, May 5 to 9, 2014.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Hearing no questions, Mr. Seymour, will you call the roll?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.07.
To approve the resolution, waiver of minimum school day requirement as presented. This resolution will be read by Board Member Mr. John Pennicuick.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Whereas this resolution is in support of the Winton Woods City School District's application to the Ohio Department of Education, and whereas this application to the Ohio Department of Education is requesting a waiver of the minimum school day requirements for the purpose of professional development to advance district goals. Therefore, be it resolved that the Winton Woods City School District hereby extends its full support for the application for a minimum school day requirement for the purpose of professional development. Madam President, I move the adoption of this resolution.
Thank you. May I hear a motion?
I'll second it.
Yeah, I just did.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hearing no questions, Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.08.
Madam President, this is a very special appointment with the loss of Mrs. Emmert. Having someone stand in for her to keep the progress moving in conjunction with Scarlett, I think it's very important for us to always have someone in connection with that great district that supports our students' education. So the recommendation is to approve the resolution, appointment of the school board member to the Great Oaks Institute of Technology and Career Governing Board as presented.
I will read this resolution. Resolution, Great Oaks Institute of Technology and Career Development Board of Directors. Whereas the Winton Woods City School District is an affiliate member of the Great Oaks Institute of Technology and Career Development and has the responsibility to appoint a member to its Board of Directors. And whereas in January 7th, 2014, Mrs. Cindy Emmert was appointed by the Winton Woods Board of Education to serve a full 3-year term on the Great Oaks Board of Directors, and she did so until her untimely death on March 27th, 2014. And whereas the Winton Woods Board of Education must appoint a person to represent its interest for her unexpired term on the Great Oaks Board of Directors. And whereas Mr. Tim Cleary meets all the qualifications required by House Bill 59, specifically, he has experience as Chief Executive Officer of TMI Electrical Solutions, a regional full-service electrical and energy contractor with over 100 employees, many of whom are graduates of Great Oaks. He is qualified to discuss the labor needs of the region with respect to regional economy as a result of helping to develop curriculum and articulation agreements with Great Oaks. He can represent employers in the region served by Great Oaks as a result of his leadership roles with the local trade association of independent electrical contractors. He is qualified to consider the state's workforce needs with an understanding of the skills, training, and education needed for current and future employment opportunities in the state as a result of interviewing many Great Oaks graduates. He is a citizen of the United States, a resident of the state of Ohio, and is a registered voter. Now therefore be it resolved that Winton Woods City School District appoints Mr. Tim Cleary to the Great Oaks Institute of Technology and Career Development Governing Board for a 3-year term of office to commence April 29, 2014 and expire on December 31st, 2016. adopted by the Winton Woods Board of Education in public session this 28th day of April 2014. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Madam President, I move the adoption of that resolution.
Is there a second?
A second.
And I want to express my appreciation for your willingness to step into what's an additional responsibility for a man who already has a full calendar. This is a very important extension and part of our high school program. And maybe in the future, if some of these bills pass, part of our middle school program. But I appreciate your extra effort. Thank you.
Mr. Cleary, I'd also like to thank you very much. I think it's very important for us to have membership with Scarlett to make sure that our students are being enrolled in the courses that they choose as opposed to what's available. That's a very tall order with so many different districts that they deal with. I really want my children to make sure they have the first choice. So thank you.
Mr. Seymour.
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. 9.09.
I'm sorry
sorry.
to interrupt, but we also need to pass the resolution of MOU agreement
I'm
with the
sorry.
Great Oaks.
Don't have that as a resolution, but I do see it.
Madam President,
Yes.
it's kind of late in the meeting to be asking this, but if it would be okay with the board, could we move that, since we will be required to have an executive session for that, for the adoption of the Teachers Association negotiated agreement, and finish our meeting so those in the audience don't have to stay and we leave and then come back. That way we can
The
finish
executive session?
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, if we could move that to
Is there,
14 as opposed to voting on it.
is there a need to, and let me hear from the board, is there a need to do this now, after the memorandum? Is there a need to do the executive session and come back?
Yes.
If we're to take any action,
Yeah,
yes.
so you'd like to move that to the last thing?
Yes, if the board would be in agreement.
Is there,
Sure.
is there a problem with that?
I'm confused, I don't understand. Could you please clarify
If
what we're moving?
if we move to go in executive session right now, is where it's in the agenda, we may leave for 45 minutes. And then we would come back and finish our meeting. And we have guests here this evening. We could finish our meeting and then do the executive session at the
We'll
end.
still have to come back.
Yes.
Right. But we wouldn't have to come back and finish.
We wouldn't have as much to do after we come
Right.
back.
But I think,
So it's to get some of the other things out of the.
I think what he's suggesting is just to make item 10.01 the order of the day,
That is the next.
Yes.
that would be
move
the
through
next order of
those,
business.
and then take those other
10.01.
two just later, out of sequence.
That's fine, but we didn't catch Mr. Seymour's comment about the memorandum of
Yeah, I'm
understanding.
getting to that.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
forgotten.
Okay, it's like, okay.
There was just a quick conversation about the placement of the executive session. So let's handle the memorandum first of understanding. Let me see here.
This is between the Great Oaks Joint Vocational System and all participating districts. It's an agreement that we will follow all the rules of House Bill 59 and the Ohio Revised Code in the selection of our appointee. They sent this requesting that we pass the resolution and follow their order of, you're making the appointee, but they're asking that you make an understanding with them that you're following the Ohio Revised
Understand.
Code.
Understand. Things have gotten much more.
Complicated.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna use the word, but that's true, since House Bill 59. Board, do I hear a motion on the adoption of the memorandum of understanding of all participants?
I will so move.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Seymour?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. Okay, so we are moving, are you suggesting to move 9.09 down to the bottom, basically? So let's move to 10.01. Mr. Pennicuick?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. This will be very brief because the legislature in Columbus has recessed for spring break, and not sure when they're coming back, because there's a couple of elections this year. The legislature is consumed with what is referred to as the mid-biennium budget review, and there are several bills winding their ways through committees in the legislature. Many of those bills have something related to education. The most significant is House Bill 487. This is one that would, among other things, would convert the existing post-secondary options for high school students to a new program called College Credit Plus. There are several other things that pertain or are related. This kind of bill is sometimes referred to as a Christmas tree bill. That is, everybody hangs something on it. Many of those items do not survive the final vote. So what I'm saying now is the version as it came out of the House. It will be severely changed, mangled, improved, whatever, by the Senate. For example, there is a provision that would allow, if passed, would allow 7th and 8th graders to take the College Credit Plus classes. 7th and 8th graders taking college credit classes. It would allow universities from out of the state of Ohio to participate in the College Credit Plus program, and on and on and on. I would encourage you between now and when we talk this next to watch the newspaper. Anytime you see Senator Randy Gardner quoted, you can almost take it to the bank that his thoughts, his amendments will be incorporated. He is a senior member of both the House and now the Senate, chairing the Education Committee. So he carries a lot of weight. So that's one way to cut through the noise, is what does Senator Gardner support? And by the way, if any of you are going to the Board Leadership Institute this weekend in Columbus, he will be the closing speaker for that. So a good time to hear what's on his mind and to ask questions of him. And in deference to our schedule, that would conclude my legislative report tonight.
Thank you.
Madam President, Board, my report will be very short for the Great Oaks Career Technical Center report. They met on April the 9th. It was a lot of housekeeping business, retirements, retirement parties, prepping for graduation. They did something kind of unique, and I'd like to share it with you. In their opening items, they had a moment of silence, a moment of silence for Cindy Emmert. For 13 years, Cindy Emmert inspired us with her determined optimism and passionate belief in the value of career preparation for all students. She served us well as a committee leader, parliamentarian, and chair of our board. She'll be receiving the Outstanding Board Member Award posthumously this summer from the state of Ohio.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. That's very nice. Hearing no other reports, is there need for an executive session, as I heard?
Yes. And Board, I apologize. What has happened is your agenda is different than mine for some reason. And I'm not looking at the screen. Do we still have, Mrs. Burns, the adoption of Winton Teacher Association negotiated agreement?
Yes.
Is that still part? Okay.
Yes.
Madam President, I move that we go into executive session for discussion on the adoption of the Winton Woods Teacher Association negotiated agreement. It's a contractual matter.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Need a vote?
Mr. Pennica?
Aye.
I'm sorry, did you have a question?
Are we skipping over
Yeah.
11.1?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
I'm sorry.
11.
Board motions and recommendations, are there any others?
I guess I would have to wait until 12 for my comment.
And we can do that now.
Okay.
So let's do that now. Can we hold that?
Yes.
I just have one comment regarding the Winton Woods Primary South campus. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Denny, because I'm sure this will fall under your umbrella. I have a concern during pickup and drop-off time with that building. When you are leaving their parking lot, it's very dangerous because you have a blind spot and can't see cars coming up Lake Ridge. And I've almost gotten hit a couple times. And I know it's not only myself as a parent that has that issue, it's a lot of other parents. So if there's any way possible we could get one of those blinking traffic lights to let you know when traffic is coming the other direction, that would be greatly appreciated for the safety of our students and our families in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I've heard that concern before, but surely it's been there before now, so thank you for bringing that forward. Are there any other board comments?
I just wanted to make one comment about the Ultimate Warrior Woman Challenge that the football team put on this past Saturday, and it had a great impact on my life because I participated, and I didn't think I would be able to do that, but I did. But Courtney was there as well, and you know, she could attest to the dedication that these coaches and that they give to our students, to the young men, how their behavior was, and it was they were very polite, and it was just really a good time overall. But that how even their families were part of it, how they bring their families into it for, you know, the participation of that sport. The challenge was it was a challenge because you do everything that the football players do, and it was on a mini scale, but I can't imagine them making it bigger, but it was on a mini scale, and my son tried to tell me that, yeah, we go 100 yards when you do that, you all only went 15 or 20, which I'm thinking that was enough. But anyway, they have the football team has several events that are going to be going on over the summer, and it is on their website. They have a website, but just to mention a few, they have a garage sale that's coming up on May the 3rd and a car wash. They also have a carnival that's going to come up on May the 17th, and it's going to be right up here at the high school with a dunking booth with principals and administrators in it. So we're looking for volunteers from you all, right? So on May the 17th up at the high school. They also, if you're interested in golf, they have a golf outing that's going to be going on May the 31st. And their goal is to have 64 golfers. So if you golf and you want to help the team move forward, when they travel around, they are a really good team, and when they travel around, they don't have nice gym bags like some of the other, you know, teams do, and they don't have some of the nicer equipment, and that's what this is. They're trying to raise money to do. They'll have a Little League camp coming up on June the 7th. And on June the 17th, they'll have a tap and run. And on August the 1st, so they have a Zumba-a-thon. So there's a lot of activities. You don't have to go to them all, but to support some of them, because these men care about our young men. And as many of us know, many of our young men need good mentors, and they have them in that group of men that are over them. So just to put a shout out for the coaching staff and for the young men on that team, and they worked us good. And you know, Saturday I was still feeling pretty good. Sunday I was looking for my legs, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to say that on behalf of Coach Parker and his team of coaches, just to give them that.
Now, Dr. Johnson, you mentioned a tap and run.
Yes, the tap and run is a 14K walk, but it's going to also include
The tap.
I see. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
But they're going to work it off with the exercise.
I see. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Are there any other comments?
Madam President, I would like to express my appreciation to Mr. Denny and Mr. Martin for the excellent presentation to the community that was given a week ago. The thought and preparation that went into that was evident. The communicative value of the adults that were within earshot of me was evident. So I just wanted to express my appreciation. And we may have two more illustrations for you. I heard Mrs. Miranda talk about a traffic safety concern at Primary South.
Yes.
Maybe there's a photo op there that, because what you were talking about were design issues, not maintenance issues, but design issues of our various buildings. And at I think I've spotted another design problem at Primary North last week at the art show as I'm sitting there listening to Dr. Holden speak, actually. I look over and there are traffic cones for 9 different daycare pickups, little buses of various size and so forth. So 9 different pickups, and I'm realizing how congested that, I won't even call it a parking lot, but that congested traffic area there, that building was clearly built in a hurry, and it was built for all walkers. And now majority, I don't know the majority, but a large number of students are not only bused, but they are picked up by someone other than mother and dad. They're picked up by these for-profit companies. It's like a safety nightmare to me because of the design.
That it
Yeah.
is.
And colleagues, there are fine arts events every night this week. Hope you can work them into your schedule. And academic signing at the high school Thursday morning. Yeah, big deal.
Yes.
Huge.
You
Madam
have-
President, one other piece. When you see Coach Parker, please make sure you just give him a hug. Kudos. The football team, not only are they taking the physical challenges, they went to their coach and they asked him to raise academic standards.
They asked.
Yes.
That's
They
outstanding.
wanted to raise the GPA. Now, they raised it to a number that I'm not going to tell you right
Okay,
now.
well, okay.
But,
But it's up.
Yes,
It's up.
absolutely, it's up. And
That's outstanding.
I think the board understands the superintendent's interest in making sure that we have student athletes. So we are
Students
going to
first.
be in conversation about raising the academic standards for all athletes. So thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you. Any additional comments?
We do have a motion and a second for executive session, so I'll call the roll.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye.
Thank you.
Board will move into executive session and then reconvene at the closing. Winton Woods School Board meeting will resume, coming from executive session at 8:23.
Mr. Pennicuick?
Here.
Mr. Cleary?
Here?
Dr. Johnson?
Here.
Mrs. Miranda?
Here.
Mrs. Burns?
Here. Item, go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Please.
I move the approval of teachers, I'm sorry, let me start over. I move the approval of a contract with the Winton Woods Teachers Association as presented by the administration.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the roll?
Mr. Pennicuick?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye. Board, I believe, let's see, are there no representatives from the Teachers Association? And seeing no representatives from OPSI? Hearing no other business, meeting adjourned.